Hey everybody, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. Big day, my friends. Fed's Chair Jerome Powell, he had a hearing before Congress, and there's some very interesting takeaways. And we saw the crypto market starting to pump as a result. He talked about inflation, as well as the upcoming crypto digital currency report from the Fed. And then he answered a question about whether stablecoins and CBDCs can coexist together. I'm going to play some clips for you guys. It's very bullish news. We also have an analyst from Fidelity weighing in on the current Bitcoin price and market cycles, indicating that this thing is not over. As I've been saying, guys, the facts, the signals are just not there for a blow up top. So this thing is still not over. We're also going to talk about some big updates around Jack Mallers' strike in Argentina, as well as Ripple and the XRP ledger and NFTs. There's a big update that came out today. And there's just a bunch of other bullish news around Fidelity and integrating Bitcoin ETFs into their retirement accounts. So big stuff to go through, guys. Before we get to it, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Heads up, my interview with Danelle Dixon of Stellar will be live tomorrow. She just recently spoke before Congress with Maxine Waters and the other crypto CEOs. So you don't want to miss that, guys. So make sure you got the notification bell enabled. If you're listening on a podcast site, please give me 5 stars. This video is brought to you by Algorand, which is building the future of finance. Algorand is one of the leading blockchain projects in the crypto industry. They're getting significant adoption and investments. For example, Borderless Capital launched a $500 million algo fund. We have both Anthony Scaramucci and Michael Arrington's hedge funds investing hundreds of millions of dollars into Algorand. NFTs, CBDCs are being built on the Algorand blockchain. So if you would like to learn more, please visit algorand.com. All right, if you look at the market here, we're seeing a bit of a bounce. Bitcoin over $42,717. We have Ethereum back over 3,200 and looking good, You know, I always want to let these rallies prove themselves, right? We don't want to get too optimistic and too hype and too bullish ahead of time because market cycles have to play out. If we look at the Bitcoin weekly chart, we do see a weak green candle forming here. It was red yesterday, so that's a good sign. And this bounce upwards, this pump is coming from the announcements from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. And we're going to go through that shortly. Now, 360 Trader, who's a great analyst, he tweeted the following: last cycle, we had to endure all of these, but this time we can't handle 2 of these. What is he talking about? Well, a chart I've shown you guys in 2017, and I was part of this bull market, we had 30% drops, 35%, 38, 40% drops on the way up. Bitcoin did a lot of those, and I was still new to the market, so I got scared. Now, I'm being realistic and transparent with you guys. Now, I didn't sell. Thankfully, I had a buddy who was making money off of crypto and who told me about crypto in 2016. And I listened to him and I was like, dude, are you sure I shouldn't sell? And blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, do not sell. And I'm glad I listened to him. I wish I had listened to him and bought more because I would have done really well in the 2017 bull market. But you live and you learn. And I did make some money, but we had big drops, guys. So these respective corrections that we're experiencing right now, this is nothing. And as I've said, there's still more to go here. We haven't hit a blow off top as yet. Now, here's another perspective and then some other facts, some of which I've been sharing with you guys. He said, illiquid supply percentage is increasing. Miners are not releasing new Bitcoin into the markets. I've been talking about this for months. The miners are not selling, and that is a very bullish signal. Remember, I gave the breakdown from a business standpoint. If you're a miner, you got bills to pay, electric bills, your employees, and so forth. Hell, I've interviewed the largest Bitcoin miner in North America, 2 folks from there. So I have an idea of what's happening behind the scenes. They're not selling the Bitcoin. And that indicates they're expecting higher prices. They expect higher demand. They know they're going to get more money than if they were to sell right now, guys. That is a very bullish signal. Now, he also said miners actually are now buying from the float. So we know some miners are buying Bitcoin on the open market. And he's ended it here by saying, but yeah, we're going to go into a bear market. Ha ha ha. He says new all-time high in 2022. So these are facts, guys. And once again, the Bitcoin mining one, I've been telling you guys for a long time. So a lot of different facts and signals pointing to this thing is not over yet. Here's another one. Dormancy flow buy signal on Bitcoin, very rare, only 6 times in history. So this is Bitcoin entity adjusted dormancy flow, and it has only happened 6 times, as the analyst said. So it is entering the buy zone on the dormancy flow, and this is a bottoming signal, guys, and a great accumulation opportunity. Not financial or investment advice. Do your own research. I'm just talking about what I'm doing and what the data says. I'm not telling you to go buy. So I want to make sure that's clear. You should have the conviction and understand the cycles before you go do anything, right? Don't just follow and listen to someone unless you really trust them, right? Now, I wouldn't even say, listen to me because you don't know me personally, right? To a certain degree, like we've known each other for 10 plus years, and I'm not trying to pull a fast one on you. And that's why I'm saying do your research. And it's not in my best interest to tell you to go buy and whatever it is, because I don't want to see anybody get wrecked, and you should only invest what you're willing to lose, of course. So a lot of different signals pointing to this thing is not over. Now, Jurian Timmer, who's director of global macro at Fidelity. So this guy is no joke. Look at this Twitter thread that he put together today. He said, is 40K the new 30K? The Fed's hawkish stance on inflation has had broad impact with the liquidity-driven momentum plays under pressure. It is not a total shock that crypto has corrected. So what's next for Bitcoin? And showing, the 30K bottom, which we experienced during the summer, 40K could be the next support, a higher low, right, that we are building support on to bounce upwards. Now, he continues here. He said, Bitcoin has reached a line in the sand at 40K and is now technically oversold. Like 30K, the 40K level seems to be a pivotal support area. He continues saying the 30K level in 2021 provided support based on my demand model, S-curve model. That same level looks to have moved up to 40K, providing fundamental support. Once again, it's a moving target, which generally provides a fundamental anchor for price. Very bullish, guys. And look at his chart. It's called Bitcoin Supply and Demand Models. And you'll see here showing that, the respective demand curve is at that 40K price point, and showing, the price will increase over time. Very, very interesting, my friends. And this is, once again, a credible source, Fidelity, right? And they are bullish. And we have some bullish Fidelity news today about adoption. He said, I like to compare Bitcoin to that other traditional store of value, gold. Here we see that the BTC/gold ratio has fallen back to the breakout zone from the last year. Technically, the ratio is moderately oversold, bottom panel. So here's his respective chart showing the comparison Bitcoin versus gold. And he's sourcing his data from Bloomberg and FMR Co. and so forth. He continues, or I should say ends here by saying, all in all, these charts tell me that Bitcoin should have both technical and fundamental support at 40K. It doesn't mean it can't go lower, but it looks like 40K is the new 30K. I'm in agreement with him, and not because of who he is and his title and at Fidelity, but for my own research, looking at the charts. And I always share the weekly charts with you guys, the Bitcoin weekly chart, when I start the videos, and I'm mapping this out, I'm charting it, I'm looking at macro factors, I'm looking at what's going on with the miners and all these different things and who's buying the dip and so forth. So once again, I believe this thing is not over. This bull market is still alive. Bitcoin still has to move to a blow off top. I still believe it gets to 6 figures. I still believe it gets to 100,000. Now, that's not guaranteed. It's not a certainty because I can't predict the future. We never know if a black swan event could happen. You know, look at what happened in 2020 with the pandemic. So just keep that in mind. And we got to at least pay attention to the data, the facts, and the trends. So looking good, guys. Now, speaking of macro level factors, Jerome Powell, he testified before Congress today talking about inflation and so forth. Guys, some quick takeaways. He said that they're going to try to address the debt situation, but we know they can't. And he mentioned in his speech, he said, we probably remain in an era of very low interest rates. What does that mean? What have I been saying? If you've been subscribed, I said in my gut, I don't believe they're going to raise rates where it impacts assets, even if they don't, if they even raise rates, I should say, right? But they may raise it a smidgen, a little bit, but it's not going to impact asset price growth. They're going to continue to print money. Inflation will be a problem. Eventually, it will taper off. It's not an ongoing thing forever, and it will remain steady, but it's going to be painful, I think, still this year. But the fact that they're going to keep low interest rates means higher asset prices, guys. There's a whole dynamic here, which I won't get into this video, but if you understand the cheap debt and the debt situation that we have in the United States, you'll understand why they can't raise rates very fast, because it could collapse markets, guys. This is significant, not just for crypto, but for stocks and other assets classes as well. And I called this the Powell pump. I tweeted about it today just for fun. Can print US dollar to infinity, which drives asset prices higher, sends stocks and crypto to the moon. Remember, he said back in Q4 of 2021, there's no plan to ban Bitcoin and crypto. And today, guys, and I'll play the clip, he said private stablecoins can coexist with the digital dollar. This is bullish, my friends, because here's why. All these central banks around the globe are looking to build their CBDCs. Well, the immediate competitor to that are stablecoins, not Bitcoin, not crypto, stablecoins, because people use those to do various things with payments, go in and out of other cryptos as well. That's more of a threat. And we saw Gary Gensler had his targets on stablecoins. They've been talking about it. He's even calling stablecoin securities, which is, for the life of me, so stupid. But we know he's trying to grab more power. So the fact that Jerome Powell came out and said this means they're not going to ban stable coins from the private sector, guys, because that was a real threat. If they come out and say, hey, here's the digital dollar, USDC, and all the other stable coins, you're done. They could honestly do that because it's a direct threat to something that functions the same way. But he said they're going to coexist. Oh, man, this is bullish. I hope you understand all the green flags this man is putting up, and it's coming from the head honcho here. Now, let me play some clips, because there is a digital currency report that the Fed is going to be releasing soon. It's actually a bit late, and one of the congressmen asked Jerome Powell about this. Let me play it for you.
When you last appeared before I also asked you about an expected Fed report on digital currencies. You indicated that delays in releasing the report were because the Fed wanted to ensure that their analysis was correct and to complete and that a release was expected in the coming weeks. However, that report still has not been released. Do you have an update you can share on the status of the report? And are there problems with sharing this report with Congress and the public, and what the Fed may be proposing with respect to possibly centralizing public digital currency?
So the report really is ready to go, and I would expect we will drop it. I hate to say it again in coming weeks, but it really is in a situation where it's ready to go. The fall for us, given changes in monetary policy and other things going on, it was hard we didn't get it quite to where we needed to get it, but it's effectively there now. And I will tell you, it's within weeks we will be publishing it. And by the way, it's more going to be an exercise in asking questions and seeking input from the public rather than taking a lot of positions on various issues, although we do take some positions.
So that digital currency report from the Fed is coming, and I'm absolutely sure it's going to talk about stable coins and crypto and so forth. Now, he was asked another question here about stable coins, and let me pull it up. I'll move my video out the way here for a second. And this is, I believe, at the 216 mark here, if any of you want to follow along.
Two quick questions for you. One regarding a central bank digital currency. Some have advocated, as you know, that that a central bank digital dollar be used and developed in such a fashion that individual Americans have retail accounts with the Fed, and the Fed becomes the retail banker for America. It seems to me that there is absolutely nothing in the history, the experience, the expertise, the capabilities of the Fed that lend the Fed to being a retail bank. Is that a fair observation?
I would say it is, yes.
Thank you. A second, I know we're going to get our report soon, and I'm very much looking forward to this, as you and I have discussed. But I wonder if you could respond to this. If Congress were to authorize and the Fed were to pursue a central bank digital dollar, is there anything about that ought to preclude a well-regulated, privately issued stable coins from coexisting with a central bank digital dollar?
No, not at all.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem with the coexistence of stable coins issued by private sector and a digital dollar. Guys, I can't stress enough, be patient. The puzzle pieces are all coming together. And it's kind of slow dripping, you know, the information and the details and the reports and so forth. And look, that's how government works sometimes, just slow, right? We obviously want comprehensive crypto regulations as well. And that is taking longer than we want. But be patient, guys. Be patient. All the puzzle pieces, from the institutional investors to the government to macro factors of inflation and so forth, are going to drive more capital into this asset class. Now, some other items that I want to share with you. Congressman Tom Emmer, who I've interviewed on the channel, he tweeted the following today: new digital currency legislation coming soon, with some eyeball emojis. So I think he may be working something, cooking up something. Remember, he leads the blockchain caucus, guys, with bipartisan support. Darren Soto, so both Democrats and Republicans. So I'm going to try to get him back on the channel to talk about this and to see what they're cooking up, guys. But we know he's one of the good guys really fighting for innovation and the growth of this asset class. So something to keep an eye out on. Now, look at this. And it's both bullish, but it's also sad because it's happening outside the United States, and Fidelity's a United States company. Fidelity Canada adds Bitcoin exposure to 2 ETFs to improve risk-adjusted returns. The Canadian investment manager said the allocation seeks to improve the 2 funds' risk-adjusted returns in the future. It looks like they repeated themselves here, but this should be happening in the United States. Spot ETFs that they got approved on in Canada are trading on the Toronto Stock Exchange. I've said it before, that approval should have happened in the United States, and it should be trading on the New York Stock Exchange. But Gary Gensler, excuse me, and the SEC are bullshitting us right now. And Gary Gensler is anti-American, I believe, just from his actions. So hopefully he gets voted out and the people who support him get voted out. Also, Fidelity said, we see a second country buying Bitcoin in 2022. So following in the steps of El Salvador. Bullish times ahead, my friends. Now, check this out. Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, tweeted the following: new year, new XRPL capabilities. So the XRP ledger Well, what is it? Well, Nick Bougalis of Ripple, he said, I know how long people have been waiting or have waited for this, so I'm excited to let everyone know that the XLS-20-based NFT-Devnet, I guess XLS-20-based NFT-Devnet, if you read it all at once, is now available for anyone who wants to begin testing the proposed native NFT extensions on the XRP ledger. I've been waiting on this because I do not want to pay ridiculous gas fees on Ethereum. Now, I know there's other options like Solana for sure, which are less expensive, but we're going to see a lot of these other blockchains which have faster transactions, lower fees, better scalability and transactions per second. They're going to be allowing people to build NFTs on them, Algorand and the others. And I think that's going to take market share from Ethereum because people are going to realize, hey, why the hell am I going to pay these high fees? So I'm excited to test out the XRP ledger and launch some NFTs on there. I'll definitely let you guys know when I do. He said the Ripple dev team launched the NFT-Devnet to make it easy for developers to experiment by building and testing apps that use these new extension to core ledger protocol. And if you're a Pythonista, check out the XRPL PY 1.3.0, which supports XLS-20D. So I'm assuming he's talking about Python, the coding language. And he continues saying, it's important to point out that the launch of this sandbox does not in any way impact the XRP ledger at this point in time, nor does it shift our singular focus on performance and scalability. If anything, it highlights the value we place on responsible development and scaling. He said, we intend to use the NFT-Devnet to not only evaluate the quality of the implementation and ensure that it is as polished as possible, but to also understand the operational implications of the XLS-20D spec will have on the XRP ledger. We hope that other server operators will do the same. So this is great, guys. More building and utility on the XRP ledger, which increases the value of the ledger and the network, and in turn drives the value of XRP up, right? Network effect, Metcalfe's law. We see the building of ICOs and NFTs on Ethereum, what that has done for the value of Ethereum. So, or the ETH token, I should say. So this is bullish if you hold XRP. And we've talked about the Ripple lawsuit and all the other things, but this is great to see they continue to build despite all the issues that's been going on. Now, look at this news, guys. $13 million Costa Rican electricity company now mining with 100% excess renewables. Bitcoin accelerating green energy. Guys, I've said it a million times. Leave your emotions at the door. Bitcoin is here to stay. It ain't going anywhere. You can tweet whatever you want, say what you want, make whatever videos you want. The facts are a lot of different miners are using renewable energy now. Bitcoin mining is booming in the United States. Bitcoin as an asset, as a store of value asset, is here to stay, and it will be here forever, along with the crypto market, just like gold is. And a lot of people don't want that because they only look at the negative, but you got to look at both the pros and the cons, both the good and the bad. And Bitcoin leads the crypto market at this point. Will there be a point where we mature and then certain altcoins will be out on their own? Yes, I believe so, but that's not right now. We're still early. We need Bitcoin to do well. I can't stress that enough. If you understand how the capital flows from Bitcoin into altcoins, you would be like, please, Bitcoin, go to $500,000 or as high as possible, because the capital will flow into altcoins, driving altcoin value up as well. Now, like I said, it's not how I want it or my feelings or emotions, but rather, what are the facts? What is the reality of what is taking place? So I'm not going to BS you guys and tell you, oh, there's crypto and blah, blah, blah. This is how the money flows as it is right now. When that changes, I will tell you, of course. Just heads up. Now, Brian Brooks, who I'm still trying to lock in an interview with him. He's now the CEO of Bitfury. He tweeted this news saying, flipping the script on Bitcoin ESG discussion. Remember, Elon stopped the Bitcoin payments from, or Tesla accepting Bitcoin payments. Now they still hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet, but he stopped the payments because of the ESG's concern. And we're seeing more miners going renewable. Elon said once it hits 50% and higher renewable, Tesla will accept payments again. So we shall see, guys. What Elon does soon, but even Brian Brooks is, calling out that this is great. This is we're moving in the right direction. The mining, the control of the hash rate has become decentralized. The miners left China. United States has a lot of mining now. I think it's leading, if I'm not mistaken. And the electricity is moving to more renewables. So all bullish for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. Now, I want to end it here with Jack Mallers, who's the CEO of Strike. They're expanding to Argentina. And just as they did with El Salvador and other countries, they're going to bring the Strike app, which uses Lightning Network capabilities to help these people in moving money and to have the ability to go into hard money, safe haven asset like Bitcoin, right? A store of value. And we know Argentina and Venezuela, some of these countries, they're dealing with hyperinflation, guys. I mean, the fiat currency is trash. And they also get destroyed by predatory payment companies and networks, which charge them on arm and leg for cross-border payments. So big shout out to Jack and what they're trying to do. And he was on the news today. I'll play a clip here for you guys to hear what he had to say.
CEO Jack Mallers, the company announcing its expansion into Argentina today. Jack, it's great to have you back. This is a big deal, but do you think the government will be as receptive as El Salvador's was?
Yo, Kelly, Happy New Year. Let's change the world. No, I don't. Listen, Kelly, I'm not a government consultant. I'm here to change the world, push our species in a direction that I think will make the world a better place. And the El Salvadoran government aligned with the vision and thought Bitcoin was a useful tool for their citizens. The Argentine government, that's not my job. I'm just impressed with my team, impressed with Bitcoin and the tool set that we've been allowed for with what Satoshi created and making the world a better place. For giving the people of Argentina a monetary asset, a monetary policy, a monetary network that they can rely on and make free instant cross-border payments and subscribe to an asset and a store of wealth that is external of any government or central party intervention that's really pained them over the last 100 years.
So here, the expansion to South America, the platform will be available in Argentina. Citizens can now hold cash balance able to be spent instantly with no fees, and enables cross-border transfers. Guys, the world is changing. Once again, if you love or hate Bitcoin, doesn't matter. Fact is, there's expansion, there's adoption, there's investments happening. I'm very bullish on this market. I'm still bullish for 2022. I believe we are still in a bull market. And I shared some of the facts of why I feel that. It's not because I woke up this morning and said, oh yeah, I'm bullish or I'm bearish or whatever. Rather, what does the facts say? What is it telling us, right? So I hope you guys see that as well. And as I encourage you to please do your own research, spend time reading about these things. Like I said, because I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to go read up on these things and learn about it. This is a paradigm shift. This is disruptive technology that is here to stay. And if you're here, we're still very early in the adoption curve, my friends. If you look back at the adoption curve, the internet and even whatever other technologies in the past, we are very early. So be patient, as I've said, study the market cycles, also look at who's building and investing. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.